Here's the next project. Now that the slider's perfect up there, these Delrin sliders have a lot to be desired. And the reason I say that is because not that they don't hold it up good, but they're not wide enough. That's 33 and 15/16 up there from side to side. This is 33 and just under 3/8. So a lot of side to side slop when you put this in here. Look at that. There's no reason for that. So I'm going to mill up a couple pieces of new Delrin, make it a little bit wider, angle a little bit more so it goes in there easier. Okay, each one of these needs to have 5/16 of an inch added to it. So I'm going to take these out, find out what the overall measurement of it is, and then mill that into it. On to the next step of the modification process. I cut out 4 blocks of this Delrin that I used for the slider up there to change what these are going to do. I made them wider and this way, and also wider this way, so when they go in the slot there's no side to side wiggle room. The original slider looks like this. This is the original slider here. Went in this section here. I figured I'll make it wider since I have the material and put it in there. Now I've already milled this slot just like that, and so it'll fit up underneath there. It's just a straight mill procedure there when I was squaring this block. So what I'm going to do now is bring this down to thickness. So it has to be, it can't be any thicker than this one. It can be thinner, but not any thicker. And then miter the corners like this one is done. And then fit it in there. Before I do the width or the thickness this way, I'm going to measure across the ladder and make sure I have the width, cut these down to whatever width needs to be. I forget what it is. I think it was like 33 and 15/16 that is up there. So I'm going to make these just a little bit smaller than that so it's easier to slide them in and out. Okay, 1/16 of an inch has to come off of this for its overall width. So I'm just going to set that up. Get swapped out to a milling cutter. Said I'm just going to take a 1/16 off there, so not much. Bring it up till it touches. All right, let's take the length out of the 3 more of them. Okay, I got it all milled down. I was shooting for 1 inch and I got it at 0.997 on this thickness. This is 1.03 on this thickness, so there we go. So now I'm going to do them all. I'm going to thin them all down like this, and then I'm going to cut this 45 into all of them after I'm done. So I'm trying to figure out why this 45, it really doesn't make any sense that this 45 be this deep on the end here. Because I mean, when it goes in and out, really these are the 2 45s that really make any difference, because it's going in like this, and it has to get up and over that guard that's in there, the stop. This is the part that's sliding on the flat, and this really doesn't do much of anything, really. I mean, this is chamfered off all the way. I guess I could ease that over just a little bit. Anyway, I'll have to look and see what it looks like once I get it in there. We got the Little sliders here machined up. There's really nothing that complicated to it. It's just this groove, tapped hole, 45 the edges. The original ones, let me get it here. Here's the original one, and they eased this edge over a little bit, but I mean, it really isn't going to make any difference. Same with this leading edge too. Again, doesn't really look like it's going to make that big of a difference. So they're both exactly the same width, except this is longer, sticks out longer, and it's wider, so it'll bear off a little bit better, make it slide easier. So I'm going to install these four, kind of deburr some of these holes. I don't know what this hole was even drilled for. Probably maybe they thought they were going to mount it this way originally. I don't know. Because on this one there's two holes like that, and the other one doesn't have any holes. So I don't know. Maybe they used a piece of scrap. Anyway, let's put these on. I see every one of these bolts is long too. I think I'm going to take them out and cut them down to their normal size, so I don't have all this thread material. Same with these ones out here. There's just no reason to have all this. Alright, let's see how these stairs fit in here. And more importantly, let's see how they slide. See if I can do this by myself. Oh yeah. Oh wow. That is nice. Wow, that's easy. Now I'm going to have to put a stop up in the front, because when I stop the truck, these things are going to slide all the way to the front of the camper. So deep in there I won't be able to grab a hold of the pole, so I have to drill a hole and put a bolt in the rail up there. I took a lot of the side to side slop out of it. I didn't want to take it all out because it would be hard to get these in and out of there, but now they won't fall off the rails. Yeah, perfect. All right, that is fantastic. Okay, now let's get under the camper and mark a spot where the stops are going to go. You can see that the stairs are in there all the way. This door is going to come down on the outside here. I think I'm going to fold it down. I was planning on folding the door up, but then it'd probably get in the way all the time, because every time you fold it up, it'll want to fall back down. So I think I'm going to fold it down. I'm going to hook it to the bed of the truck, and then when the camper's off, I'll just unscrew it off the bed of the truck. I think that'll be the simplest, easiest thing. So here we are. Let's make sure that this is far enough in here. So that's about 1 inch farther than it actually has to be. This could come all the way out here, really. Yeah, let's just make sure and just put the stop there. This is just to prevent it from going in too far. Alright, so here's on that side and this side. Okay, I'll just slide it out, drill a couple holes, and just put a couple bolts in there, and that'll just stop it from coming all the way to the front and getting out of reach. All right. Coming in on the other side. All right, the stair set is in and it works perfectly. I put the stops in and I'm not sure whether they're going to stay in very well or not. These are threaded into this bulkhead right here. There's a bolt. You can see it right there. It just goes through this little 1/8 inch piece. This box here is 1/8 inch thick. It's terrible lighting. This box is 1/8 inch thick, and what they did was they drilled and tapped this hole for that door that was on there before, which I didn't like. You took it off and it just fell down. Let me zoom out here. The door, you just took it off and it was on 2 cables and it just fell down, and I didn't like that. It was too much fumbling around. See if I can open up this ladder. I don't like how they may put this ladder in here. I'm gonna fix this. This is stupid. I don't get it. This ladder gets bound on here. They got the nut in here too tight. This is just crappy, dude. To get the get it in and out of there. Zoom out here so maybe you can get some better lighting. Maybe this way. Anyway, so I'm going to put a door that folds down. It's going to hinge off of the actual bed itself, which I really don't prefer, but that'll make the door hinge downward. So when you undo this and the door goes down, it's just out of the way. When you pull the stairs out, it won't fall down and hit the stairs. When you're trying to put the stairs back in, it won't fall down. Because originally I was going to put the hinge here and flip it up. I don't know if there's really enough room here to hinge a door up and keep it up. The knobs on it are going to push it away from this. So that's going to make it kind of cumbersome. So I'm going to have folded down, and then when the camper's not on it, I'm going to take it off the bed. It's just going to be like 6 screws. But first what I want to do is where this the knob goes, screws in here, you know, you're going to do it over and over and over again. So I bought some riv nuts from McMaster-Carr. I've never used them before. I looked online and there's some decent videos on YouTube, but I really am not sure how far their special tools do insert them, and then some guys use bolts. So what I'm going to do is take a couple of them and experiment on a piece of material that's the exact thickness and see how far you have to compress it. So that way when I put it in here, I'll know what I'm doing. Right here they are. They're made for soft metal, and they have a grip range of 0.027 to 0.165, which is inside what that 1/8 inch material is. So let's open them up, see what we got. I don't know if you can see it there. Let me see if I can focus this in. So it's a threaded insert, and the idea is you drill the hole, insert this into the material, and this compresses down like a rivet and creates a collar that compresses between this lip here and the compressed part, just like a rivet does. But you have to use a bolt or a special tool to compress it down. So let's drill a hole through a piece of 1/8 inch over at the bench and try it out so we can see what's going on. Oh, that's terrible focus. See what's going on first and see how far you have to compress it for it to work. I think the rivet nut is 1/2 inch. I'm going to have to measure it. Well, I was really wrong on that. Yeah, I'm glad I measured it. I would have really screwed that one up. Let's get a drill bit. Okay, this is 3/8. Let's see if that fits. Just barely under it. Nope. 23/64. Yep, that's the one. Let's deburr that. And I won't be able to deburr it on the inside, so I'm going to leave it just like it would be. I mean, they do make internal deburring tools. I just don't have one. So, okay, let me set this up and I'll come back. All right, my whole goal is to figure out how many turns it takes to get this thing down to where it should be. Just gonna hold on to it with this socket. Man, that's terrible focus. And see how many turns it'll be till I guess it's good. Holding it still is going to be the issue, it looks like. Yep. Interesting. Yep. So that's going to be the whole issue, is just holding this thing still. That's a fail. Maybe I was supposed to drill it at 3/8 and pound it in there so it'd be a little bit tighter. All right, this time I drilled the 3/8 hole. This collar on this rib nut is 384 and the 3/8 hole is about 374. And then I just tapped it in there and we'll see if that holds it a little bit better. I don't know. This isn't looking very promising because it's probably just going to continue to spin. Yep. Yeah, it's not going to compress it at all. Yeah, all it's doing is just turning it out. Oh, crap. So much for this idea. So now I'm going to have to create a tool to compress this. So I have to put this in and then have a tool that just compresses it from the sides and yanks this rib nut up and compresses it like it should have been. All right, after the third try, I think I got it, and here's the setup. Now, this is kind of almost comical how I'm doing this, but I have the ratchet holding the bolt, the nut that compresses it, another nut here that acts as a washer for compression, because I have to be able to hold on to this nut to keep it from spinning so that it doesn't spin the insert. That way it isolates the spinning action of this nut from the rest of the washers. So hold this wrench on here, hold the ratchet there, and twist this nut down. And as I twist it down, it pulls that bolt through and compresses the nut in there. See these? This is the first try. It's kind of not evenly compressed all the way around. It's good on that side, but this side here, it's kind of, and it's crooked in the hole. Same with this one, second try. This third one, I was able to hold it straight and put it in. I'll probably have my wife help me with this so she can hold one of the wrenches to keep them from spinning. That way I get these mounted in there pretty straight. And the drill bit that you use is the 23, what did I say, 2364? Yeah, that's the one to get it in there. See, it's pretty flush. It'll help to reinforce the threads inside that aluminum.